We are watching right now NIKOLA Corporation. Look at what happened in the last couple of weeks before the stock is split, and also what happened afterwards. Insane recovery. The key question here is, will the uptrend continue?
Let's see what happens. First of all, remember to read the disclaimer right here and also in the description below. Very interesting, this stock. We made a previous video about it just before the stock split. So let's do the update and see what has been going on and what could happen in the next months upcoming for this stock. Very interesting indeed. Yesterday, more than 16%, adding to gains of nearly 31% over the last week. Very interesting movement. Let's see if today ends in green. Also, how do you see it, guys? Let us know in the comments below. And also, remember to subscribe to Trading HD for more amazing content like this.
Yeah, so you may wonder what happened, why it happened, the crash of June 20. Okay, so the thing here is like when you analyze a stock that is in losses as NIKOLA, because if you go to the net income, you can clearly see that the stock is not generating a profit yet. So, and that's a big problem when you're investing in a stock. And when they do a stock split, normally that's super negative in stocks like this. I mean, it's not the same as stock split in a company that is in benefits, that is in, it has a positive net income, as a company, that is in negative net income as this one. So what happened with a stock split? It crashes, and that's normal. Actually, when they release the announcement of the stock split, it starts to go down. And so in some stocks they go down dramatically, sometimes even minus 40% in a couple of days. So that's completely normal. The thing here is like what to do afterwards, because the stock split has finished and right now is going up. But the key question here is like, okay, how are the fundamentals right now?
Yeah, it's something interesting to take into account how the market sees this stock, because we have a lot of EV stocks and we have talked about many of them in this channel. So, this reverse stock split has been seen by some investors as a precautionary measure by NIKOLA's board. And of course, this is to maintain with NASDAQ listing requirements and avoid that potential listing. That this could be positive, but also this could be seen from the negative side. Also, the recent financial performance, as you mentioned, has been a little bit disappointing for what the investors expected. And also, the investors are remaining cautious because of this future performance, because they are not sure. They are watching the EV market competition. It's not as easy as it seemed earlier, or as it seemed with the previous hype. So there are a lot of factors involved here. And obviously, the reverse stock split always revolutionizes the market. It completely changes the prices, and you can clearly see that with multiple stocks that we analyze in this channel. That's why we love to bring them back when we see the effects of these stock splits in the chart. And right here is interesting because, as you mentioned, the price went lower. Let's see the exact percentage from that stock split, around 35%, more or less, a little bit less maybe. But from there, it bounced to the upside with a more than 60%. Right now, it's 47 more or less, but it's a very interesting movement. We have this kind of iceberg pattern, we could say, going to the upside. But will it continue, or will this gap or selling area be strong enough to reverse the price again and continue going lower? What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I would say in the short term it could go up, but obviously when I see stocks like this, I remember so many stocks we analyze, Enrique. Let's go for instance with Mullen, and you can clearly see in the long term all the stock splits that happened before and what happened with the price. It goes down with some rallies in the middle, but in the end the performance is very very negative. And that's the thing that I'm worried about with NIKOLA. That it experienced the same thing, and actually look at the chart. It's very very similar. In the end, the stock, obviously after the stock splits, we're talking about that in June 2020 it was trading at $2,500, and right now it's trading at $10. It's the truth, it's the hard truth, and that is going down. And the thing here is like we need better numbers. It's very important to analyze the net income to see that the stock is going up. And the thing here is like we're talking about the minus 147 million in the last quarter. That's not positive, but obviously it's better than that it was back in September 2023. So you have to consider those factors.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that comparison with Mullen Corporation. Obviously, with Mullen Automotive, sorry, NIKOLA Corporation has a different situation. You have to take into account all the factors involved. It's a very difficult market, the EV one. And, let's see, for instance, the forecast, because here we have six analysts, and I think it's interesting to see like they are all on the positive side. Well, the minimum one is $10 -3%, but we could see like the average 180% to the upside, $29, and the maximum one $60, 479. Only six analysts, not a lot as we have in other stocks, like more than 20 or so. But it's interesting to see this forecast. It's very bullish.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, what happened here is like they're expecting clearly the better earnings in the future. We're talking about like a minus $10 in the estimate for 2024. The next one $8. Then in 2026 we're talking about -4, and last but not least in 2027 $1. That would be like the stock going into profits. But as you can see, there is a long way to go.
Yeah, and you see also in the revenue, uh, yeah, in the revenue forecast, you can clearly see like the spike that should happen during 2026 and 2027. That estimate of $2.43 billion in 2027. In the annual revenue. Very interesting. Let's see what happens. There is a long time for that to happen. We have to wait and see. But for now, let's go back to the chart and see with more detail the intraday chart. Let's go to the 15-minute chart, for instance. We have these green circles right here. Let me draw them. Let me erase them very fast. And what can we see right here, Alvaro? Because I can clearly see this kind of triangle pattern right here going to the upside. It broke and it completely spiked from this point, $9.20 more or less. But at this point, I think like there was a lot of bearish resistance. We can see four tops right there and a breakout right here. But maybe this was a false breakout and now the price tries to continue going higher, or we see this pattern being confirmed and the price broken out in the higher time frame. That would be something to worry about, maybe.
Yeah, I would say the shorter the time interval and the more volatility you can get and the more false signals you can see. For instance, in this example right here, we're talking about like a false breakout on the downside and then it went up. That's normal in intraday. In maybe in 1 hour chart, one daily chart, it's more difficult to see a false breakout like this, but it happens. The thing here is like you can clearly see that there is a trend right here because the first level is it started back in July the 2nd. Then we have another hit right here. If we activate the logarithmic scale, we see different things, of course. If we deactivate it, we have to reanalyze the chart, but you can clearly see that there are some interesting upside potential right here that they are trying to rebound the price from the bottom. But obviously, there's a huge resistance right here, and that's the important key factor. If we don't get the stock going above $11 again, we could see the stock going down to $7 again, and that's the thing that we might consider. Okay, in terms of risks, you place a buy, but also you need an exit strategy plan in case everything goes wrong.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that resistance area as we see the support areas also, because we have to talk about all the factors that could affect the price action of this stock. We don't know the future, we can just analyze what is happening right now and try to predict what could happen. So let us know in the comments your thoughts about it. How do you see NIKOLA Corporation for the short term and then for the long term also, because that could be different. In the short term, it could be going lower, and in the long term, going higher. And the opposite also is true. It could be going higher in the short term and in the long term going to the downside of the chart. So let us know in the comments everything you want. Remember to subscribe to Trading HD. We really appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Bye bye.